Very warm hello, dear students. On behalf of a Spontaneous Study Academy, I welcome you in our biology classes. And our today's topic is structure and a function of a heart. So, without wasting much time, let's start today's topic, which is the structure and function of a heart. But I think before starting the structure and a function, we should know that what is the heart. So we will start with the heart. What is heart is? As you know, the human heart is situated almost in the middle of the thoracic cavity in a space called the mediastinum, between the two lungs. Heart is a hollow, muscular, conical organ about the size of one fist, with the broad base and a narrow apex. It tilted towards the left. It measures about 12 cm in length, 9 cm in breadth, and it weighs about 250 to 300 grams. And the main function of a heart is pumping of a blood towards the whole body. Okay. What about the mediastinum? In between both the lungs, a space where the heart is situated is called the mediastinum. Okay, in our chest where our heart is present, the place is called the mediastinum. Keep remember it, friend. Okay, so it was all about the heart. After understanding the structure of the heart, the question should arise in your mind that how heart pumps the blood, and we will learn the functioning of a heart with the help of a diagram in a next slide. So see the structure of a heart. See, suppose it is the diagram which is showing the structure of a heart. Internally, the heart is 4 chamber. As you can see that there are the 4 chambers, and out of them 2 are the atria and 2 are the ventricle. And we are starting with the atria. See friend, the chambers which are present superiorly are the atria. These are the atrias. These one are the atrias. The atria are the 2 thin wall receiving chamber placed superiorly and separated from each other by the interatrial septa. So I told you these are the receiving chambers. My first point was these are the receiving chambers. Why they are the receiving chambers? Because both the chamber receive the blood. See, this is the right atria. Okay, this one is the right atria, and it receives the blood from the all over the body through the vena cava. This one is the vena cava, the superior vena cava, and this is the superior vena cava, and this one is the superior vena cava, and this one is the inferior vena cava. Why this is the superior and it is the inferior vena cava? Because the superior vena cava brings the blood from the upper body, which include the neck, face and brain, and inferior vena cava brings the blood from the lower body, which is present below the heart. Both the vena cava brings the blood and gives to the right atria, this one. Okay, and means right atria is receiving blood, deoxygenated blood, for the purpose of the oxygenation. Okay, similarly the oxygenated blood comes into the left atria. This one is the left atria, and this pipeline is the pulmonary vein, and pulmonary vein receiving taking the blood towards the left atria, means left atria is also receiving blood from the lungs with the help of a pipeline, which is the pulmonary vein. It indicates that both the chambers are receiving the blood, therefore they are called the receiving chamber. And one is receiving the blood from the body, and one is receiving the blood from the lungs. One is receiving with the help of a pipeline called the vena cava, while the left part is receiving the blood with the help of a pipeline which is called the pulmonary veins. Okay friends, now as you are seeing, both the atria, right atria and the left atria, is totally separated from each other. There is no space in between them. They are separated from each other with the help of a septa, and that septa is called the interauricular This septa is called the interauricular septa. See, a septa is present in between them. Why it is called the interauricular septa? Because this septa is present in between, therefore it is the in between the atria, therefore interatria or interatrial septum. Why septum? Because it is separating to both, therefore it is the interventricular septum. It was all about the atria. Now we are moving towards the ventricle. See, starting the ventricle, these parts which are present inferiorly are called the ventricles. The ventricles are the thick walled, distributing and inferiorly placed chamber. I told you three things about it. First, distributing, second, inferiorly, and thick wall. Okay, so let me explain these things first. They are the thick wall. Why thick wall, why distributing, and why inferiorly placed? The first is the thick wall. They are the thick wall chamber. The left ventricle pumps the blood towards the body with a great force. These force have to be bared by the wall of a ventricles, therefore wall are thick. Now the second, why distributing? See, the right ventricle distribute or gives the blood to the lungs. As you can see that there is a pipeline ventricle. This one is the right ventricle. This one is the right ventricle, and it is giving the blood back to the lungs with the help of a pipeline which is the pulmonary trunk. Means it is distributing the blood to the lungs, and similarly the left ventricle, this one is distributing the blood to the whole body with the help of a pipeline called the aorta. Means the left ventricle and the right ventricle both are distributing the blood. One is distributing the blood to the body with the help of a aorta, while other is distributing the blood to the lung with the help of a pulmonary trunk. Therefore they call the distributing chambers. Okay, and why they are thick wall? Because they have to bear a great force. When the heart will pump the blood towards the body, it will pump with a great force, and that force have to be bared by the heart. Therefore the ventricles are the thick wall. Now the third one is they call the inferiorly placed chamber. They are present below the atria, therefore they are the inferiorly placed chamber. It was all about the ventricle. As you can see that both the chambers are totally separated from each other. There is a space, and this space is called the interventricular septum. Why it is called the interventricular septum? Because it is present in between, therefore inter, and it is present in between the ventricle, therefore it is the interventricle, and it is separating the chambers, therefore it is called the interventricular septum. Okay, and it was all about the structure of a heart. Now we are moving toward the functioning of a heart, that how heart functions or how it functions. So start with the functioning. See friend, both the vena cava, means these one and these one, bringing the blood to the right atria. Right atria means this part, and the right atria giving this blood to the right ventricles. Right ventricle, see, these right auricle giving the blood to that part which is the right ventricle, and the right ventricle send it to the lungs. See, from here the right auricle giving this blood back to the lungs with the help of a pipeline called the pulmonary trunk for the purpose of the purification and the oxygenation. It was the functioning of a heart of right part. Now we are moving towards the left part. As you know that left part consists the two chambers. The smaller one or the upper one is the atria, and the lower one is the left auricle. So left atrium receive the blood from the lungs. As you are seeing, this is the left atrium, this one is the left atrium, this one, and it is receiving the blood from the lung with the help of a pipeline which is the pulmonary vein. Okay, through the pulmonary vein, and the left atrium gives it to the left ventricle. As you can see, from here blood is coming here, and this part is the left ventricle, and the left ventricle pumps this blood to the whole body through a pipeline which is the vena cava. When the blood comes here, it goes to the body with the help of a pipeline called the aorta. Okay friend, means both it was all about the functioning of the left part of the heart. First of all, the body gives the blood to that part, to the right atria, and right atria gives the blood to the right ventricle, and then it goes to the lungs for the purpose of the purification. Similarly, after the purification of a blood, these lungs gives the purified blood to the left atria with the help of a pulmonary vein, and then pulmonary vein, the left atria receives the blood and gives to the left ventricle, and left ventricle gives to the whole body. Okay, now we are going to learn about the wall. There are these some wall are present here. There are the three wall, main three wall. First one is the present in between the right atria and right ventricle. Here you can see in between both the part, right atria and the ventricle, a valve is present, and this is called the tricuspid wall. Why? Because it consists the three flap, and it is also called the mitral wall. And similarly, in between the left atria and the left ventricle, a valve is present which is the which have the two flap. Therefore, it is called the bicuspid wall. And similarly, at the opening of or at the mouth of a aorta, means here, and at the mouth of a pulmonary trunk, a wall is present which is called the semilunar wall. Means the tricuspid wall is present in between the right atria and the ventricle, and the bicuspid wall is present in between the left atria and the left ventricle, and the semilunar wall is present at the opening of the aorta and at the opening of the lungs. It was all about the wall, and we did complete the functioning of a heart. And after completing the functioning of a heart, you should know that what is the function of a wall in a heart, just to prevention of a backward flow. Hope you understand the today's topic. Student, I am providing you the notes of the topic in the next slide. Take a screenshot of this slide if you require. Thank you a lot, student, for watching. Please like and share among your friends. Thank you so much, friends.